This week on Saving Our Marriage.
You like nice things. You like your children are at a private school. You have 2 cars. Niphila kahle, not from your own sweat. Tlatla into engibonayo nje ngawe, ngithaba ni lazy. Money comes easily to me.
That concerns me.
Saving Our Marriage, Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. only on SABC3.
Now, I can actually speak from experience, yeah? I think in the lead up to marriage, a lot of people tend to focus on pulling off the perfect wedding, and it is important. You want that beautiful day. But I think much more work actually needs to be put into making sure you are ready to commit the rest of your lives to each other. And that's precisely why Vivienne and Gudani, a couple who got engaged during lockdown, interesting times, are participants in the marriage coaching program called Saving Our Marriage. And they're joining us right now via video call to share more about their relationship and their experience on the show. Good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Morning. We're good. How are you guys?
We cannot complain. I mean, Vivienne, I'm going to jump straight in here. I mean, you are participating in the program because you want to build your communication skills, you know, before going into marriage. What were, if you don't mind, highlighting some of the communication issues or problems the two of you were experiencing beforehand?
Gudani and I feel like we weren't fighting fairly. It's like we weren't hearing each other. There were too many disagreements, too many differences. I feel like he was fighting too much for what he believed in or felt was right, same as with me, where it's like we probably weren't reaching the compromises that we needed to reach in order for there to be less conflict.
Gudani, I'm going to flip it over to you now, because it's one thing to want to delve into this, another thing doing it on TV. What prompted the decision to sign yourselves in to take part in Saving Our Marriage? And how does it feel opening up your relationship for the whole of South Africa to see?
Well, the initial decision for us to actually join the show was similar to a very spontaneous one. I think that at the time where the opportunity presented itself, it was just a good opportunity for us to maybe try and see if we had, issues that maybe we didn't deal with issues at the time. And then obviously during the whole process, we discovered that a lot of the problems that we had that we never thought were problems, were actually big red flags and things like that. And having our dirty laundry aired on national television, it's quite an experience. It is quite an experience. It is, especially when you're watching, yourself on the telly and you're watching yourself talk about, things that you intimately are aware of. It's a whole different experience,
Very brave. Very, very brave, ma'am.
And it's almost like an accountability journal that you're keeping for yourselves, because you can always go back and rewatch this. But Vivienne, what I want to know from you is, what were some of the most surprising things you learned about each other during this process?
Well, for one, this guy here says that he learned that there was a whole wardrobe for this show, and I'm just like, dude, the wardrobe's always been there, which I find hilarious. And surprisingly, just to see that we could grow the way that we did, I feel like I never imagined that we would get to a point where we agree on things.
And these are the surprises you want to iron out before going into your marriage.
Do it now.
Definitely.
And of course, you didn't walk this journey alone. You had some expert guidance coming in the form of some brilliant experts. What were some of the key insights and maybe the practical techniques that Ilza and Paul gave you to apply to your relationship? Maybe Gudani, you want to take this?
I think one of the most prolific ones that I learned, this is specifically for me, was the listening lesson that they gave us, where Paul was saying that we should just put into practice, just sitting for 10, 30 minutes and just listen until the other person is done talking, or they felt like they have now said everything that they needed to say. And things like learning how to fight with each other in a correct way, and learning how to apologize and taking responsibility. Those were some really powerful techniques and lessons that we took from that, yeah.
Well done, dude. That advice needs to be said to probably every male on the planet, and I can feel myself, nodding along with you, dude, because these are very, very.
It's super difficult, especially the listening thing, because we got so many things running through our minds that we want to be doing, and instead of just sitting and just listening to.
Just shut up and listen. Yeah, completely.
Well, I have a question for the both of you. I know you had a lockdown engagement, but do you both feel that you are now ready to be married to each other for eternity after this experience?
Don't you want to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. Yeah, like we had quite an interesting engagement. Like I felt personally that it was
very interesting.
I felt it was going to be memorable. She'll never forget that. And after everything that we've been through, and as well as what's been shown on the television, I think that all of that has just made me much closer to her. We have ironed out a lot of the initial problems that we had. And I feel like now we practically are living marriage. We just got to do the things.
Well, technically, you are married. Technically. Because you went and paid the dowry and everything. So customarily you are, but...
A man's got to do what a man's got to do, girl. I'm actually, my face is cramping. I'm smiling so much, which has got to be a good sign. I think you guys, I can understand why your relationship being opened up in this space on TV makes such compelling viewing. You guys are awesome, and we wish you nothing but the best for the next phase of your lives. And I'm going to say it straight, that there's still going to be challenges and fights and arguments, but as long as you can shut up and listen, buddy, you're all right. You're on your way, dude.
Do you hear that, buddy? Listen. You must remember it's okay.
It's an everyday struggle.
But thank you, guys. Thank you
so much.
What a pleasure.
Yeah, and we will be chatting to another couple from this insightful program a little bit later, so don't miss the valuable relationship coaching advice being dispensed in Saving Our Marriage, which you can catch Wednesdays at 7:30 on SABC3.